is Kelly Janae with Ethereal Ecology, and you are watching the Reducing the Dosage series. It's been just under 3 weeks since I started doing 25 milligrams of Lamotrigine and went down from 37.5, so half a 25 milligram tablet. So I'm at 25 milligrams, and really what I can say in this check-in is that generally this month I've just been depressed. And it's like this untouchable, unnameable sadness and like dissatisfaction baseline. And it's familiar. It's a familiar feeling. I look back at my life and where I was when I obviously started this process of getting on a mood stabilizer. I was diagnosed with bipolar depression. The depression part really was the worst part of all of it, was just how bad I would get into this place of just like lethargy and just a deep grief and genuinely a willingness not to live anymore. I was suicidal, so to speak, and there's just a feeling of like nothing matters, I'm not enough, etc., etc. Many of you are familiar with those feelings. And so, I'm dealing with those feelings as they arise and just sort of allowing this month to teach me things about what I can do to lift that mood up. Because, I look at my family history. Like, for instance, on my dad's side, pretty much, everybody takes an antidepressant. On my mom's side, definite mental health problems in that family line. And so it's not surprising to me that I carry whatever this burden is of my family history around in my DNA and have this general like sadness about me. And I look at all my friends too, and quite frankly, I think we're all kind of sad. And it's hard not to be. Like, it's hard to wake up and be like, wow, life is so amazing and blah, 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 because we're not really programmed to do that. And I was just talking to my friend about this because he calls us melancholies, us people who are just genuinely like, or, in general, I'm using generally a lot, but just because it's just a baseline. Generally just like sad or like, meh, like whatever, indifferent. When I grew up, I was listening to lots of emo music and just like, cutting myself and doing, things because I was sad. And, my friends are similar in the sense that I think we just have this view of the world that's kind of cynical and not from a place of like, it comes from a place of realism, I think, of looking at the world around us and seeing the inequities and the injustice and feeling as well, empathically, the pain of the world. I think we're much more sensitive beings than we give ourselves credit. And, I think people who are happy all the time have really put a lot of work into cultivating that. And yeah, my friend and I was talking like, why is it so difficult? Why do I have to put so much work into being happy? There's some days where you wake up and you're like, wow, I'm going on vacation and I'm doing this thing. And of course I'm going to be happy because I'm, something is physically changing in my life that I know is going to bring me joy. But on every other day that you wake up, why shouldn't you also be like, wow, like what a great, amazing day? And so there's ways to cultivate that joy within ourselves. And I've been reading the Book of Joy right now, which is a conversation between His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. And they are talking about these different ways, these pillars of joy, and some of those include gratitude, a huge one, being able to be like, what do I have that brings me joy right now? My house, my healthy body, my job, you know, my family, my relationships, they bring me joy. I'm grateful. And that fills you with lifts your mood. Generosity is absolutely huge. The ability to give of yourself to help others, whether that's money, time, or just like your spirit, generosity of spirit, of helping a friend with words. And I think that's one that I really call upon a lot, and realize that I want more of. You know, I work in the nonprofit world, but my work is not always very tangible when I'm writing grants and waiting for money to come in and all this stuff. And, you know, the work we do is really gratifying when we get to put our feet on the ground and see pollution being reduced and all this stuff, and seeing sustainable ag start and an urban community. But, you know, it's like 90% of the time we're applying for grants and just trying to get the money to do the things that the world needs. If only the government would just put money into things that actually fucking matter. Another pillar of joy would be humor. Humor is huge. Oh my God. Humor, and that goes in line also with humility, about being like, okay, I don't know everything. I'm not supposed to know anything. Also, this is hilarious. You know, I think humor is somewhere where I find a lot of joy too, and I love that my friends are, you know, I have some friends who just make me laugh uncontrollably, and I'm so grateful. So freaking grateful for that, because at the end of the day, like, we cannot solve all the world's problems as individuals. We can't. We never can. Like, we will never be able to do it alone. And so, like, also imposing expectations upon yourself that you can't meet, like, you're signing yourself up for a freaking lifetime of depression. And I do that to myself. You know, I have to really recalibrate, I think, my mind right now in this time of getting off this medication and moving into the next phase of my life. Recalibrate the way that I think about my self-worth. The way that I think about what success really is and what happiness really is. Because I'm finding the same sort of patterns that are coming up when I was, you know, a younger adolescent. I'm 25 now, which I guess technically means I'm still an adolescent, but I'm certainly at a point where I'm ready to move into a level of more maturity and wisdom, and joy. And so I have to really kind of like break down the structures that have heretofore developed whatever lens that it is that I'm looking out into the world in. And a lot of this it's happening internally, you know, like, I'm not going out in the world like, I'm so sad, everyone sucks. No, it's just like, it's just an internal sort of, man, you know, like, I just want to be a joyful person. And yeah, I mean, you got to be patient with yourself. I got to be patient with myself. And just give myself time to really ease into whatever life that I want to live. And I recently did like a vision board. And I can do a video on vision boards because vision boards are amazing. But, you know, vision boards are sometimes like, oh, this is what I want for my career and this is where I want to travel and all this stuff. But the last time I did a vision board, I just did it based on how I want to feel in life. You know, there's a picture of this cat just like looking with wonder to the sky, and, you know, there's a little Calvin and Hobbes thing that says, you know, some people never get to walk in the beautiful woods like this. And just these little glimpses of wonder and appreciation and gratitude and joy, and little mantras about, you know, I am enough and everything like that. And so I genuinely do feel like I'm cultivating these things. It's just slow. It's a little bit slow. And as I've been doing tarot cards a lot more as well, I've gotten the Tower card several times, you know, face up, which if you see the Tower card, you'd be like, oh my God, that's a disaster, because it's this tower that's being built on sand, or that's already been built on sand, and there's a freaking, like, lightning coming down from the sky and people jumping out of windows because that tower is going down. Everything that you built up to this point, crush it, you know, let it die, because it's not built on solid foundations. So I think I'm dying right now. I think I'm dying, and you know, I'm really grateful for it. Like, I recently just wrote a song called Never Too Young to Die, and it's all kind of lining up. It just feels really slow, and it just feels really like, do I really have to do this? Like, but when I can zoom back, zoom out and see the bigger picture of what I'm doing, and that I have a whole lifetime, I may die tomorrow, but, still I have a whole lifetime to be figuring out these things. And so, I've got this general sadness. At least it's not like coupled with anxiety or anything like that. And I feel comfortable talking to my friends about it. And when I do talk to my friends about it, I feel better. So, I have some more solid foundations for healing in my life right now than I guess I ever have. And so really just want to encourage any of you going through this path to make sure that as you move forward in life, look at your foundation. Like, am I rooted in solid, trusting relationships? Do I treat my body with respect and love? Am I healthy? Where am I in balance? Am I working too much? Am I not resting enough? Etc., etc. Like, what do you need? A baseline to at least give you a solid foundation for dealing with whatever's going to come up in your life, because things are going to come up in your life. And the work that you do to prepare yourself, that's preventative maintenance, making sure you have enough money, like doing work that you care about, like all of these things are very basic, and they take time. I mean, they take time because we live in Earth realm, okay? I'd love to say that manifestation is just like, but it's not yet, okay? We're not there. We're not there yet, humans, which is kind of annoying. It's like, wow, we really, we have a long way to go in terms of evolution. And don't even get me started on aliens, because I've been thinking about it way too much lately. But yes, so there you go, 25 milligram update. I guess it's a little bit long, but you know what? I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks, and I must let you know what's happening. And somehow process it myself, because I don't have a therapist. But I desperately need one. So if you, and of course people walk by right when I say that. See, humor. It's so beautiful. I love all of you. Thank you so much for watching this series. I hope that you are doing well. Please share in the comments your experience with life, and if you have anything to say, just say it. Be yourself. Go outside. Stretch your legs. Stand up every once in a while. Look up, because apparently there's like a UFO that goes across the sky every 8 seconds now. So, ooh. Okay. Stay well. Bye.